Stephen A., when it comes to HBCUs, we know how much they mean to you. What would you say to somebody that wants to continue to follow in the traditions of the HBCUs?
Well, listen, I mean, when you think about society as a whole and what they've done for so many years to sort of deflate the potential impact that HBCUs can have, times have changed now. And so now HBCUs are getting a national pub, and it's not just because of me. Ashley Christopher has done a phenomenal job with HBCU Week, but you got cats that are incredibly successful that never went to an HBCU, the Chris Pauls of the world that went to Wake Forest, the LeBron James that never went to college, the Carmelo Anthonys that spent the year at Syracuse, along with the NFL and the NBA. A guy by the name of Troy Vincent that a lot of people don't know much about. He's the executive VP of the National Football League, directly under Roger Goodell. And there's very few people on this planet that have been more instrumental in making sure that the profile of HBCU schools receives the recognition it deserves more so than him. So it's a collective effort that's been taking place nationwide because we recognize the fact that there's so much untapped talent that exists at HBCUs, and before, whereas that was religiously the case, now you're seeing more notoriety and more shine being placed on HBCUs, and we're having an opportunity to highlight what HBCUs brings to the table, not just for disenfranchised communities, but for American citizens as a whole. We're learning more and more about what HBCUs have to offer, and as a result, corporate America is taking notice as well.
Mentorship is something that you're big on, especially coming out here to the HBCUs. What would you say to some of those young guys that's on the come up that are looking for mentors, especially in whatever field that they're going into?
You got to be worth it as a mentee. Like, if somebody is willing to extend a helping hand to help you out, but you don't want to listen, then you ain't an ideal candidate to be a mentee. If you're somebody that just wants to take advice and ignore it and do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, when you got your hand out or your mind out for somebody else's counsel and advice, then you're not worth being a mentee. A lot of times we think about what we can get, and then on far too many occasions we don't think about what we have to give. I think one of the greatest gifts God has ever blessed me with is my willingness to listen, to be receptive to, and to be grateful for the wisdom and the knowledge and the counsel I've received. You know, whatever mistakes that I make, there's no mentor, there's no advisor, there's no anyone who took time out of their schedule, come to me and bestow that knowledge upon me that would look at you and say, Stephen, they ignored us. I listen, I try to learn, and I try to incorporate the wisdom and the knowledge that was bestowed upon me, not just because it's the right thing to do and it's beneficial for me, but it's a symbol of thankfulness and gratefulness to those who extended a helping hand enough to provide me with information and intel that I want to listen to. And that's how you thank them, when you pay attention to it. I remember, you know, I have a very, very good relationship with the CEO of Walt Disney, Bob Iger. There's one thing that you have to know about somebody like him. If you don't listen to him, he's going to know instantly, and he's going to want nothing to do with you because you're wasting his time. And I bring up his name because I've never met a high-ranking executive that thinks differently than him. If they take an opportunity to bestow knowledge upon you, they expect you to listen. And if you don't listen, they're not going to waste their time talking to you. And if they don't waste their time talking to you, how much are you going to learn? And how much are you going to really, really know in order to propel yourself forward? That's what you have to think about. It's always, always, always beneficial to listen. Even if you think that you disagree with somebody, you never know what angle somebody is giving you where you can take that knowledge and really utilize it to catapult you to another level. You never, ever know.